mansion was cold and still. Bimbo sat by the white glass window in the living room, staring at the large black gate. Her hands clutched the hem of her milk-colored t-shirt, twisting it anxiously. Outside, the sun had long disappeared, and the sky was a dull grey, like something terrible was about to happen. She hadn't eaten all day. The plate of jollof rice she made in the morning still sat untouched on the dining table. Her stomach rumbled, but her heart was too heavy for food. She had spent the whole day pacing the house, cleaning every corner, ironing Dayo's school uniform, even washing the car. She thought if she stayed useful, maybe Mrs. Funke would begin to trust her again. But deep down, she knew something was wrong. The house had been too quiet since they left for the boat cruise. No phone calls, no updates, no happy pictures posted on Mrs. Funke's WhatsApp status like usual. The silence was louder than thunder. Then, screech, the gate creaked open. Bimbo jumped to her feet and ran to the front door. Her heart raced with mixed emotion, relief that they were back and fear that something had gone wrong. The black Toyota Highlander crawled into the compound like a wounded animal. It stopped abruptly. Bimbo waited at the doorstep, forcing a smile onto her face, but what she saw made the smile vanish. Mrs. Funke stepped out of the car, barefoot. Her makeup had melted off completely. Black lines of mascara streaked her cheeks like war paints. Her wig was gone. Her eyes were wide, haunted. Titi and Dayo stumbled out next. Both were wrapped in hotel towels. Their clothes were missing. Titi's lips were blue. Dayo's teeth shattered. Jesus, Bimbo whispered. What happened? But before she could take a step forward, Mrs. Funke pointed a trembling finger at her. You, she said in a low, cracked voice. You witch. Bimbo froze. Ma, she said, her voice barely a whisper. You tried to kill my children, Mrs. Funke screamed. You wanted us to die. The sound echoed through the compound. Neighbor's lights flickered on. Curtains shifted. Bimbo took a step back. No, ma, I don't know what you're talking about. You poisoned our peace. You brought a curse into this family. Mrs. Funke stormed toward her, eyes burning. You and your wicked spirit. Bimbo didn't understand. Her legs felt weak. Please, ma, what happened? I swear, I didn't do anything. A slap. The sound of the slap was sharp and clear. It echoed like thunder. Bimbo staggered sideways, holding her face. Her ears rang. Her skin stung. Titi looked away. Dayo clutched his towel tighter and turned his back. You ungrateful thing, Mrs. Funke hissed. After everything I did for you, I should have listened to the prophets long ago. Bimbo's eyes widened. The prophets? Yes, Mrs. Funke sparks. He warned me. He told me someone was standing in the way of my blessings. Someone close to me. A snake in my house. And now I know it is you. Bimbo dropped to her knees. Please, ma, I have no idea what happened on the boat. I've been here all day. I didn't go anywhere. You don't need to go anywhere to cause trouble, Mrs. Funke growled. Witches fly in the spirits. Evil children don't need wings. Tears poured down Bimbo's cheeks. Her heart pounded so loudly, it felt like it would burst. From today, Mrs. Funke continued, her voice shaking with rage, you are no longer part of this family. Pack your things and leave my house now. Ma, Bimbo whispered, her voice broken. Where will I go? It's night. Mrs. Funke turned her back and walked into the house without another word. The front door slammed shut. Bimbo sat on the ground, shaking. Her world had fallen apart in a matter of minutes. Her cheeks still burned from the slap. Her chest tightened with sorrow. And in that moment, under the dark sky, with the mansion lights turned off behind her, Bimbo knew that she was truly alone. But somewhere, deep inside, a fire began to flicker. The next morning, the mansion was quiet but not peaceful. Mrs. Funke sat alone in her room, wrapped in a thick shawl, sipping hot ginger tea. Her eyes were red from crying all night, but her face was hard, carved like stone. The events of the boat cruise kept flashing in her mind. Dayo sleeping over the edge of the boat, Titi screaming for help, the violent waves rocking the boat, the panic, the prayers, the cold, and the voice of the prophet echoing in her head. There is a snake in your home, a child sent to destroy your joy. She had ignored it at first. She thought Bimbo was innocent, just a poor unfortunate girl needing help. But now, everything pointing to her. Every time she traveled without Bimbo, problems had not ceased. Fights, accidents, misunderstandings, and now, this near-death experience. It couldn't be ordinary. Her phone vibrated on the table. She picked it up. It was a message from Prophet Elisha. The Lord has spoken again. The spirit of destruction is still in your house. If you do not cast it out, you will lose everything. Let me come and complete the deliverance. Mrs. Funke swallowed hard. 10 minutes later, she was dialing his number. Prophet Elisha arrived that afternoon, dressed in his usual white kaftan and red prayer shawl. He walked into the mansion with slow, calculated steps, eyes scanning every corner like he could see things others couldn't. He didn't greet much. He didn't smile. He simply said, "Take me to the place where the girl sleeps." Mrs. Funke led him to the small servant's room at the back of the house. It was now empty. Bimbo had been forced to leave the night before with nothing but a nylon bag. But her pillow, mattress, and a few books were still there. The prophet stepped into the room, eyes closed. He began to chant. Tongues filled the air like wind. His voice deepened. His arms stretched toward the ceiling. "Ah, I feel it," he said suddenly. "The spirit is strong here." The girl carried a strange presence. She was never sent by God. She was sent from the marine kingdom. Mrs. Funke gasped and placed a hand on her chest. "I knew it," she whispered. "I knew something was wrong with her." Prophet Elisha turned to face her. "This girl came into your home with a mission to scatter your family, to bring shame to your name, and to destroy your children. But God exposed her." He brought out a small bottle of anointing oil and sprinkled it around the room, muttering prayers. "You must not contact her again," he said. "Cut every tie. Burn her clothes if you have to. Do not let her name be mentioned in this house again." Mrs. Funke nodded, tears filling her eyes. "She almost killed Dayo and Titi. I will never forgive her." Prophet Elisha placed his hand on her head. "You are now free, but beware. The spirit may try to return. You must stay connected to grace. Pray without ceasing. You will send me another 1 million naira. I will use the money to make a special prayer for you. Send that letter today and make sure you don't miss it." Then he turned and walked out of the room, leaving behind a tray of oil and fear. That evening, Mrs. Funke gathered all of Bimbo's remaining belongings, her books, her old clothes, her photos, and dumped them in a sack. With trembling hands, she carried it to the backyard and set it on fire. As the flames rose and swallowed the items, she whispered a prayer. "Let every evil attached to you be burned." Inside the house, Titi watched from behind the curtain. A tear rolled down her cheeks. She missed Bimbo already. No one helped her braid her hair anymore. No one told her bedtime stories or helped with her homework. Dayo too sat in silence, hugging his teddy bear. He remembered how Bimbo had taught him to tie his shoelaces, how she made pancakes every Saturday morning. But now, they were told not to talk about her anymore, not to mention her name. She had become a ghost in the house. And outside, somewhere, on the streets of Lagos, Bimbo sat alone under a bridge, her nylon bag beside her, staring into the darkness. She didn't know why everything had gone wrong. All she knew was that the woman who once called her daughter now called her witch, and her heart was breaking. The day passed like smoke, fast, shapeless, and choking. Mrs. Funke was consumed with one thing, protecting her family from Bimbo, as she now called her the serpent. Every time Mr. Ade called to ask how Bimbo was feeling, she would lie that Bimbo was fine. But whenever Mr. Ade would ask to speak to Bimbo, she would give one excuse or the other. Mr. Ade didn't worry much, since he knew he's coming back in a few days. He would see Bimbo soon. Each night, after the children had gone to bed and the help had retired, she sat alone in the living room with Prophet Elisha on the phone. She may return, the prophet warned again and again. Spirits often come back to complete their mission. You must strike first. Mrs. Funke's voice was faint. Tell me what to do, man of God. There is a spiritual sealing we must do, he replied. It will involve sacrifice, no blood but money. You must sow a seed of protection. I'm ready, she said without hesitation. How much? The Lord revealed 750,000. It must be done in secret. If you tell anyone, the covenant will break. Mrs. Funke didn't blink. The next day, she transferred the money without telling Mr. Ade. Meanwhile, across the city, Bimbo sat on a cold church bench in torn clothes. She had worked for hours, begging, sleeping in empty shops, and eating from dustbins. Her lips were cracked. Her feet were blistered, but her heart hurt more than her body. She remembered the words she had heard that night before Mrs. Funke pushed her out. You brought bad luck into our home. Witch, leave this house and never return. She had tried to explain. She had cried, knelt, begged, but Mrs. Funke didn't listen. Now, Bimbo sat in front of a small church, hugging herself. Inside, the choir was singing. A kind woman had given her a loaf of bread and a bottle of water. That was all she had eaten in 2 days. Suddenly, a hand touched her shoulder. She flinched. It was a tall man in a brown jacket. His face was rough, his beard full, but his eyes were kind. You look like you need help, he said. Bimbo didn't answer. I'm Pastor Jerry, he added softly. Come inside, just for tonight. She hesitated. She was scared, but something in his voice felt safe. She followed him. Back at the mansion, Mr. Ade came back from his trip. His children, Titi and Dayo, ran to greet him, but Bimbo didn't come. He was surprised. This was unusual. Where is Bimbo? Mr. Ade asked. Mrs. Funke cleared her throat and said, My lovely husband, welcome home first. Come inside first, then we will talk about Bimbo. Mr. Ade's face changed. What do you mean? He asked. I am talking about my daughter, and you are telling me to come inside first. Where is my daughter? I hope you haven't done something bad to her. Mrs. Funke shifted back. Then she said, My husband, while you were away, something bad happened. We went for a boat cruise without her. By the time we came back, I didn't find her. She was nowhere to be found. She even made away with some money that I kept inside my wardrobe. I didn't want to tell you so that you don't get worried. But don't worry, I know she will come back. When the prodigal daughter finishes the money she stole, she will definitely come back. I think she followed a man. Mr. Ade was very angry. His chest was boiling with anger. You mean you chased my own daughter away from my house? Go and find Bimbo. I give you 24 hours. If I don't see her, you will be thrown into the street just like her. Mrs. Funke was surprised. The prophet had told her that Bimbo will destroy her home. Now, it's beginning to happen. That girl is truly a witch. Mr. Ade went straight to the police station to make a report of a missing child. The police must commence search immediately. And from that day, Mr. Ade didn't rest. He went from street to street in search of Bimbo. He believes Mrs. Funke must be lying against Bimbo. Mr. Ade didn't speak to Mrs. Funke anymore or eat any food she served. He was just observing. He noticed how withdrawn the children had become. He noticed how Mrs. Funke had become more secretive, always on course, always whispering. One night, Curiosity got the better of him. He checked her phone while she was in the bathroom. His heart stopped when he saw the messages. Seed transferred. Seal the house and block the girl's spirits. Let no man break this covenant. Mr. Ade's face turned pale. What is Funke getting involved in? He whispered. Suddenly, he remembered the old Bible his mother once gave him. She had warned him, beware of false prophets. Some wear whites but serve darkness. He decided he couldn't sit and watch anymore. If Funke was hiding secrets, then so could he. The same night, while Funke slept peacefully, believing she had finally protected her family from evil, Mr. Ade picked up his car keys and drove to the old part of the town. He went to meet a secret service agent who would inquire and monitor the fake prophet Elisha. He believed Prophet Elisha has been the one deceiving his wife and breaking the love in his home. The tall black man in a black coat was the best at what he does. He would get to the root of this. He would track Elisha down. Back in the church, Pastor Johnny gave Bimbo a mattress to sleep on in a small room beside the altar. He brought her a bowl of warm rice and stew, and for the first time in days, she ate without fear. She didn't know that somewhere in a quiet compound under the moonlight, a man was searching for her, Mr. Ade. Back at the mansion, Mrs. Funke paced the living room, her wrapper tightly tied around her waist, her phone clutched in one hand, her heart throbbing with confusion. Something didn't feel right. Mr. Ade had been acting strange. He no longer kissed her goodbye in the mornings. He avoided her. His calls were now secret, short, and hushed. Then, that morning, he had left before sunrise without saying a word. She felt it deep in her bones. He was hiding something, and it was eating her alive. She picked up her phone and dialed Prophet Elisha. Man of God, she whispered, I feel danger. Something is off. There was silence at the other end. Then, the prophet spoke in a cold, sharp tone. You must not lose focus, woman of faith. The spirits have been disturbed. Someone is working against your covering. I warned you. Her heart jumped. What do I do? You must renew the covenant, he said. Send another seed. This time, a greater one. The enemy is closer than you think. Mrs. Funke's heart trembled. Her eyes darted to the children's piggy's bank, to the safe under the stairs, to her gold jewelry in the drawer. Everything she had, she was willing to sacrifice for safety. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, Bimbo stared at her reflection in the church bathroom mirror. Her face looked pale, her eyes swollen from crying, but her soul was learning to breathe again. It had been 4 days since she entered the church. Pastor Jerry and his wife, Sister Remy, had cared for her like a daughter. They had given her clean clothes, warm meals, and most of all, hope. But she still didn't speak much. At night, she cried silently, holding her knees to her chest. On the small mattress, she missed Dayo and Titi. She missed their laughter, their hugs, their silly games. She even missed Mrs. Funke's faint voice, calling them for dinner. How could a family forget you so easily? She wondered. She misses her father, Mr. Ade. She was heartbroken. Her father would have forgotten her. She didn't know Mr. Ade had not forgotten her. He has been searching everywhere possible. Luckily, after a very long search, someone confirmed to Mr. Ade that he had seen Bimbo in Pastor Jerry's church. That evening, a knock came at the church front door. Pastor Jerry opened it, and there stood Mr. Ade. His face was tired, his shirt half untucked, dust on his shoes. He had been searching for hours, for days. Good evening, sir, Pastor Jerry said. Good evening, Mr. Ade replied. Please, I was told you shelter a girl. Her name is Bimbo. I'm here for her. I'm her father. The pastor blinked, surprised. Her father? He asked. Mr. Ade sighed. Yes, she's my first daughter. The blessing my late wife gave to me. Pastor Jerry stepped aside. She's inside. When Bimbo saw him, she froze. Her heart jumped. The bread in her hand fell to the floor. She backed away slowly, her tears wide, frightened. Tears dropped from her cheeks. Mr. Ade fell to his knees. He held his hands up, tears in his eyes. "I was wrong," he said. "I am sorry, my daughter. I was not there to protect you." Bimbo shook her head, confused. "Madam Funke chased me away. She said I tried to kill her. She said I brought disaster." Mr. Ade was speechless. Why would his own wife be this mean and wicked? Pastor Jerry and his wife watched from a distance as Bimbo broke down in tears. "I begged," she sobbed. "I begged her not to throw me out. I know," he said, "and I will never forgive myself for letting her do this." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a necklace Bimbo used to wear, the one she had left behind in her rush. "My daughter, my angel, please, let me be your father again. I know I don't deserve you, but please, I love you. I will make sure you don't suffer again." For a long time, no one spoke, just the quiet sound of Bimbo's sobs as she slowly walked into Mr. Ade's open arms. Back at the mansion, darkness had fallen. Mrs. Funke sat in the living room, staring at the flickering candle on the table. The power was out, and so was her peace. Dayo and Titi were asleep upstairs, but the silence in the house felt heavy, like something was waiting to explode. She had just transferred 1.5 million naira to the prophet. He had instructed her to burn incense at midnight and recite certain warfare prayers for protection. She lights the incense. The sweet stick smell filled the house. She sat on the floor with her wrapper tied, holding a white handkerchief and chanting the words Prophet Elisha had sent. "All spirits of light, cover this house. All consuming fire, block every serpent spirit." Rain poured heavily that evening, hammering rooftops and turning the roads into rivers. Thick angry clouds gathered in the sky, and thunder rumbling like the voice of angry God. Inside the car, Mr. Ade drove fast, his hands gripping the steering wheel. Bimbo sat beside him, still shaking, clutching her seatbelt. Behind them, Pastor Jerry's voice echoed in Mr. Ade's mind. "Make peace quickly. The forces troubling your house are not natural. Don't delay." He was going to bring Bimbo home and restore their family. As they approached the Third Mainland Bridge, Bimbo turned to him. "Daddy," she said quietly, "do you think she will accept me back?" Mr. Ade sighed, eyes fixed on the road. "She will have to. This time, I won't let anyone push you away. Instead of you to leave again, she will rather leave my house." Mr. Ade and Bimbo finally made it home, soaked, shaking, and silent. The mansion gate swung open, and the security guard stared at them with wide eyes. "Oga, Bimbo, you people are back," he asked. Mr. Ade didn't answer. He walked past him like a man possessed. Bimbo followed closely behind, her fingers clenched tightly around her father's. Inside the mansion, Mrs. Funke sat in the living room, her white straw blankets wrapped around her like a judge's robe. Her eyes locked with Bimbo's the moment they entered. "You brought her back?" she said slowly, her voice low but cold. Mr. Ade nodded, his eyes blazing. "She is my daughter. She's staying here. This is her home too." Bimbo stood behind him, trembling. Mrs. Funke stood up. "So now, I'm the outsider, Abi? After all I've done, the woman who kept your house, raised your children. You broke our family, Mr. Ade roared. You made me choose between my child and you. What kind of mother does that?" "I am not her mother," she screamed. The wall struck like thunder. Silence followed. Even the gatekeeper, hiding in the hallway, gasped. Bimbo began to cry. She turned and ran upstairs. But just then, Titi peeked from behind the stairway. Her little eyes lit up. "Bimbo," she cried. "Bimbo, stop. Is it really you?" Titi ran into her arms, and Dayo came running too. The three of them hugged tightly. No one could hold back tears, not even the staffs watching from the corridor. Mrs. Funke sank slowly into a chair. Her hands shook. She came back alive, despite everything, she whispered. Mr. Ade looked at her, eyes burning with both pain and disappointment. "You have two choices," he said softly. "Make peace or walk away, because this girl is not living again." Mrs. Funke looked up at him, then at the children laughing upstairs. For the first time in years, her eyes filled with tears. "But she's a witch. The prophet told me she caused all the accidents we had." Mr. Ade's anger grew. "You are such a fool," he said. "You were deceived and duped by the fake prophets and your friend Mama BC. They will rot in jail soon." Mrs. Funke became more worried. "I don't understand," she said. "I told the prophets. I can't believe any of this." Then Mr. Ade clapped his hands 3 times. The door opened. A team of policemen stormed into the house, holding the prophets and Mama BC hostage. "Speak now, you fraudsters." The prophet in his knees started to cry. "Mrs. Funke, I am sorry. It is not my idea. It was your friend Mama BC that came to my small church and told me about you. She said you were jealous of your stepdaughter, Bimbo. She said we can extort you if we give you the prophecy you want to hear. Every money you have sent to me, I shared it equally with Mama BC. I am very sorry." Mrs. Funke's heart trembled. She could not believe her eyes. She has been deceived and betrayed by her own best friend, Mama BC. She has been a fool all this while, mistreating an innocent girl all this while for no reason. Mama BC fell on her knees. "My friend, please forgive me. I was carried away by greed. I needed money, and when I asked you to borrow me, you did, but I was ashamed to ask for more. I just thought this was the only way to get more money from you. Bimbo, please forgive me too. I am part of the reason you suffered." Mrs. Funke was so ashamed of herself. She can't believe this is happening. She was totally broken. She was deceived by her own best friend. She burst into tears immediately. She went on her knees, asking for Bimbo's forgiveness. She was ashamed. She looked stupid. She messed up. She promised Bimbo to take her as her own. Onward. She will never be a bad stepmother again. Bimbo has a heart of gold. And of course, she forgave her again. Bimbo felt peace. And for the first time, it really looks like this time, this peace will last. They hugged each other. And this was how peace returned to the home. The police took the prophet and Mama BC away. And finally, the family could smile again.